as if I'm already chose. Like, if she feeling hot, then I make that bitch frozen. I get a bitch tight every time that I post. Damn, the party not lit, then I'd rather not go. If she feeling hot, then I make that bitch frozen. I get a bitch tight every time that I post. Damn, it's not bad, they be on my ass. I could hear you hating from the back. Balenciaga baddie got a bag. Nigga merchant ate it from the back.
Going on to. Now you got way bigger issues. You're running around like you single. Slow down, only you the ginger, the whole town. Slow it sometime. Go out, mountain for your back, make it run wild. Slow it sometime. Time to slow down. So many things we could have been. You left me so cold. You know that I need you. Now I feel so cold. I gotta get even. Still I want you close. Sometimes I need you. I never forget you. But I won't call you anyway. Nobody wins cause you won't call me anyway. I won't call you anyway. Nobody wins cause you won't call me anyway. To stress you. You think say you be my controller.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm your girl Christine Pretty and I'm here at the Freedom Park today for the Nelson Mandela dialogue. So guys, yeah, it's a normal day. You know what to do. Subscribe, comment, then like and share under here. And yeah, enjoy this vlog. You know how I do it. Introduce, then show you the place.
Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. To us, so we are coming here with a force, yeah. Blessing the reap and we coursing on full. But we not rise and boast. Yeah, we give thanks like we need it the most. We have to give thanks like we really supposed to be thankful. Blessings all from the life, man. But thank God for the journey, the burning to us good plus. Yeah. Gratitude is a must. Yeah. Blessings fall from my right hand. What's a toast to the friends that take off every load. One time, things sit down in a class and we board. Let's only see the road and we go on with the road. Third form is a very tired thing. And you know it formed up to be a fire thing. Now up on stage with credits I sing. Yeah, Jimmy, I'll dig it soon, get the iron ring like hello, brother. Say I just shut down. Saw you post the spectacular photo. Keep it burning, yes, that's the motto. If you need a butter, pass through your son. You're falling on live, man. Me have to thank God for the journey, the burning to just to the plus. Yeah, my gratitude is a must. Yeah, me see blessings fall from my right hand. But I toast to the friends that take off the road. One time, things sit down in a
So I'm here at the Freedom Park, guys. So in a little while going on taking pictures. I'm gonna go inside. Hopefully, oh yeah, now I'm better. I'm going inside for more exciting pictures and views. Looking all pretty and all. There are other parts, but I think because you're in there, like I'll just go around and look how beautiful it is. Yeah. The sun is there that says so I'm gonna look dark. But it's really pretty here. Yeah.
game that we need to play for us to get there, right? It's been 30 years of freedom and democracy for South Africans. We come from different walks of life. We come from different backgrounds. My story is not the same as yours. To the people with the answers. But before we get into this conversation, I'd like to call to the front, Umahatebe. You know, the one thing that I loved about growing up, as she's approaching, is that I had a grandmother who was a great storyteller. You know, stories of hope. The one story that comes to mind is of a monkey and a crocodile that my grandmother used to tell him. She was so good.
Cabo Doma. In the words of the Nama people, Abatwa, a dream is not a dream until it is shared by the entire community. Welcome to Freedom Park, a dream that was dreamt by Ubabu Nelson Mandela after the painful stories of South African had been shared during the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. He dreamt this place, and today we are happy to welcome you to Freedom Park, where we not only honor the struggle heroes, but we also try hard with entertainment, with stories, to remember where we came from as Africans. Kaboske, Kabo Dema. My story today is not about the monkey and the crocodile. It is not a story from the warmth of our grandmother's fires, where our culture and traditions are taught to African children. My story today is about a time in our country when the winds of change blew so hard that to this day, many South Africans still carry the backlash. When the students of 2015 clashed with the students of 1976. The year that the students across the country at universities stood up and said, education is expensive. They demanded free education and they wanted a decolonized curriculum. The country were many. Some parents were saying, we remember what it was like in 1976 when we stood up and we fought a giant that was apartheid and we said no more education in Afrikaans. But some, they said, aye, now was about 2000. They don't even know how difficult it was during our time, how we suffered when we struggled. What do you want? You go to the most beautiful universities. You shop when you want. You can walk in the cities as you want. It's not like us when we had to go home when the bus said it is time. This tension, as it grew through the country, it grew the same in the family house of Umsigaifani Sersant Gumede. He was the captain of the police. And Umsigaifani was one of the students of 1976 himself. He wanted freedom, yes, but in that time, he didn't really mind if Afrikaans were the medium of instruction. After all, Afrikaans was the one language he enjoyed. He spoke it well, and during class, the teachers, he was always raising his hand whenever the question was in Afrikaans. And it was to no surprise when after matric, Umzigaifani chose to become a policeman. You see, in his time, it was either that or become a teacher. And today, Umzigaifani comes home very angry, very upset, because he doesn't understand what Lama 2000 wants. He goes into his daughter's room. She responds, Baba, what are you doing? I'm preparing myself for tomorrow. Tomorrow, Baba, when I stand in front of my fellow students, I want to speak with pride. I want to draw inspiration from the heroes of 1976. I want to draw from Otiro, Onkuputetiro. I want them to feel that it is time we stand up for ourselves. Hey, Tabazade, keep quiet. You see, Umzigaifani, when he was upset or very excited, he always spoke in Afrikaans. And when he needed to emphasize himself, Afrikaans was the language he was going to use, even if he's talking to his defiant daughter. Tomorrow, unless you want to end up like your mother, I am paying a lot of money for you to do this degree. Is a law student at Wales. She is a member of the SRC, and she is one of the leaders of the Fees Must Fall campaign. And her father says, tomorrow you will remain at home until this head of yours, until it starts to work, and you remember that we worked hard for you to be here today. He lives her like that. But she says, Baba, no, wait. Don't you remember what it was like when you were fighting apartheid? We also have our own challenges today, Baba. Can you imagine what it is like for students as far from Limpopo, from the Northwest, from KZN, to be here in Joburg, not able to afford books? Boom! 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 Tear gas, rubber bullets, smoke everywhere. Students, Bakasha, Gesfalo, Semikomo. Students with ironing boards, hiding from the guns, from the bullets, smoke everywhere. But when the smoke came down and the bullets quieted, Untombi gaise, Intombi, Kasersant, Mzigaifani, Gumede, finds herself not only injured, not only shot in an ambulance, but in chains. They say when she was released from hospital, she was sent to prison. And when she came out of prison, they say,
for the logistic team is that the bathrooms, as you get out, you go towards the left and you'll see them on the left side. The bathrooms that you see here, they are working on them, so they are closed. Thank you, Program Director. And Mahadeb is a storyteller at Freedom Park. So if you want to hear more, if you want to see her more, come back here. And I'm sure you will still enjoy further stories as the program progresses. Let me start by greeting our guest of honor, and we also appreciate the support. No matter what time you invite him, he will be available to show his passion, especially for the work that we do here at Freedom Park, and also the work that we do with the Charlotte Manyamatake Institute. The Secretary General of the South African Communist Party, Tate Mobile, we really appreciate your support. I also want to greet another ambassador of ours, Mandela. She wears many hats, but I love just to call her the granddaughter of our founding father of democracy in South Africa. So you see, young people, you are next to history. Just try to touch her. Rub off. And we also appreciate your unwavering support all the time. That the work of Freedom Park that we do here and your presence. I would like to greet Professor Andres Veldhuizen. Thank you so much.
I see Shane. Thank you very much. I don't see the person I'm looking for. Oh. However, I not seen you? I'm going to call now to come forth. He's going to welcome for us our main speaker for the day.
It's a complex question. This applies to challenge of transforming South African society, and what is an ideal society? The ideal society is a transit from national democratic revolution to national democratic society. 30 years of democracy, where are we as a country? And then the other question will be, is 30 years enough to achieve the set agenda of 1994? Are the majority of people living a quality standard of life? Upon reflection and somewhat of political freedom was gained. However, freedom has many forms, such as freedom of speech, freedom of movement, freedom of association, freedom of press, freedom of religion, and most importantly, economic freedom. Economic independence has a greater impact on development of society, therefore aids in decreasing poverty and bridging the gap between those who have and those who haven't. Furthermore, when it comes to a relationship between freedom and power, power is closely linked to the leadership. We're closely linked with leadership, and leadership is linked to authority. And under normal circumstances, authority should be a twin of responsibility and accountability.
Space, number one monument in our country. Those in education, our children must have annual visit from schools to this monument without fail. So this place should be full of particularly children of this country, because that's where heroes and heroines of our liberation struggle, their remains, their names are passed up here to recognize their efforts to liberating our people. So, let me also greet the leadership of the Freedom Park Monument present here, the team from the Charlotte Mackeke Institute, Comrade Tula Sizwe, and for your critical remarks. I was looking at this thing, I was like, gosh, these comrades, they're looking for a massive thesis.
That power that you are looking for is right here in this room. Lecturer in Construction Management and Quantity Surveying at UJ. There's power in the house. And the lady who's dangerously red up here, I'm reminded of a song. Lady in red is dancing with me, cheek to cheek. The lady in red is our granddaughter. Akere Dada is our father's son.
So that I've got 8-year-olds. I would like them when they get to my age, or actually in the next 20 years, to leave sport or football in a space that they can feel comfortable in. It's not like I'm a woman, I have to be shy. It's always men around the room, but they can be empowered so that they know that it's okay to be a woman and work in football, and they will be given the opportunity. But we need to keep pushing harder, and pushing harder, it means on a daily basis, on an annual basis. We should not wait for August, the month of women, to do that. It's it's every day, on an ongoing basis.
I mean, who you told that that they should remember the day of democracy?
It was my children. It were my children. My son was about 10 years old then, and my daughter was about 6 years old.
You also said to your children that...
And I will, to a certain extent, agree with Prof here, when he said that, you know, his children had now options of what to become. And I want to go back, the other agenda that we have now is entrepreneurship. I'm not an entrepreneur. So the problem that we've done is we've gone only towards economic and we left the other aspects of power. We need a skilled workforce, because how then do you get to the point of becoming a CEO of an engineering firm or a medical division? You need to have gone through education. And now the problem
can be affected by politicians, that's number one. When change can be affected by anyone. And we can't just have also a parliament of just young people. We need an intergenerational mix, because the old people come with pearls of wisdom and the young people come with a fresh perspective. And these two should meet halfway. This is a challenge that we have with parliamentarians, that there is no generational mix, which is what I think you're talking to. We need to have that generational mix, because the people in parliament now are over 60. Most of them, they cannot relate to the fourth industrial revolution, AI, the Internet of Things. And that's why we need that intergenerational mix of both the young and old. We can't just have a parliament of just young people, because the information that we have from the pearls of wisdom, it needs to be passed on to the next generation to be the torchbearers, and your generation will be able to pass it to the next generation, and so it goes. This is how our history has been retained as African people, from one generation to the next. We can't just have a situation where we have just one generation.
I think Mr. Solima Mandela will take this question. And secondly, a question for Mr. Professor Andrew. And the first question was that, who is actually in power in the government, besides the government? I know that in a pyramid, there is this top part, the peak there, where kings and queens are found. But besides the government, who is actually in power? Secondly, to Mr. Professor Andrew, I heard you say that the system in the olden days made people who are rich richer and the poor poor. But
sothandweni bona ngehlanyuka ngifuna wena wedwa sothandweni bona ngehlanyuka ngifuna wena wedwa angifuna omunye umuntu angifuna omunye umuntu angifuna omunye umuntu angifuna omunye umuntu sothandweni bona ngehlanyuka ngifuna wena wedwa sothandweni bona ngehlanyuka ngifuna wena wedwa angifuna omunye umuntu baby angifuna omunye umuntu physical